Hey everybody, if you're listening, we knew this day was coming. We can't stay here. Not anymore. We can fit a few people and supplies on the RV. It'll be tight, but we can manage. Everybody else, take whatever you want from our stockpiles. After what you've been through, you deserve it. Good luck out there.
Like mysterious lights out of the darkness of the unknown, or at least so they seem to us, the UFOs, the flying saucers. Most scientists, however, remain skeptical. They speak mostly of unexplained phenomena, of optical illusions, or refer to the secret research carried out during the period of the Third Reich. A documentary of mystical stories. What's more, these phenomena are even mentioned in the German Armed Forces technical manuals. On the 14th of December, 1944, Reuters reported in the New York Times, a mysterious illuminated ball is the latest Nazi air warfare weapon. This means that towards the end of the Second World War, Germany was in possession of a secret weapon which displayed all the typical characteristics of a UFO. Our quest for German UFOs has been extremely difficult. We gathered together mysterious reports and stories, underground literature, photographs, sketches, and fragments of handwriting, and we tried to make contact with individuals who had been involved with the former secret societies Thule and Friel, as well as the Black Sun organization.
I'll start taking
The first part of our puzzle took us to pre-First World War Vienna, where all sorts of esoteric, occult, and Sumerian ideas and material were circulating.
Our people are in trouble.
Ideas which would later be taken up by the Third Reich, and with them the vision of a new and unconventional technology.
Hey there.
It was a period which witnessed an enormous blossoming of various secret doctrines and orders. Templars and Rosicrucians, Illuminati and Freemasons, Anthroposophists, Theosophists, Neo-Templars and Armanen. Some of them seemed suddenly to have woken up after a centuries-long sleep. What had disturbed their slumber was this: the impending arrival of the prophesied New Age, the changeover from the age of Pisces to the Aquarian Age. Every one of these groups felt themselves called upon to make their mark on the approaching era. At the beginning, heretical theologians as well as Oriental, Nordic, and Atlantis scholars all worked in concert, fascinated by one goal: the new golden age.
They really sound like they know what they're doing. You want to go bring them in?
A young man came into contact with all these secret teachings in Vienna.
Our people are in trouble.
Adolf Hitler.
They're in a tough spot.
He read all the books and other literature he could find on these subjects. Hitler soon evolved a vision whereby he realized the world would have to be reforged to pave the way for a new age. The way was now marked out for the steps he would take. The sole power that seeks renewal and yet creates destruction. The young Maria Ortiz, a spiritualistic medium from Zagreb. The student and fighter pilot Lothar Weitz. The occultist, orientalist, and officer Karl Haushofer.
I'm loaded up.
Rudolf von Sebottendorf, an occultist who had recently returned from the Orient, as well as Prelate Gernot from the Order of Knights Templar. Their subject was the coming of the New Age. They spoke of secret revelations, the Spear of Destiny, the magical violet black stone.
Okay, I'll run this on.
They discussed the possibility of making transmedial contact with the ancient Germanic and Babylonian deities, Ishtar, Ostara, and Isais. Quite likely that this coffeehouse meeting witnessed the birth of the secret Thule Society, which in turn later spawned the German National Socialist Party, the SS, Black Sun, and the Friel Society, which in its turn gave a foundation to the occult activities of the Third Reich and the new comprehensive technology. And the beginning of German UFOs.
Found this while I was out.
What was the secret behind it all? The invincible source of power for them was the Black Sun, an infinite beam of light which, although invisible to the human eye, was nevertheless there and very real. Just as the bright daylight sun can illuminate the exterior, so the dark sun can light up the soul of man. It illuminates the divine light, To this very day, the occult philosophy of the Third Reich is veiled under a thick cloud of mystery and secrecy. Its leaders were drawn from the ranks of the Thule Society and the SS. In many ways, their ideas differed significantly from the accepted National Socialist Party line. Their emblem was the Black Sun. A secret philosophy thousands of years old provided the foundation on which the occult practitioners of the Third Reich would later build. The Black Sun symbol can be found in many Babylonian and Assyrian places of worship. Even the Phoenicians and the Carthaginians knew of the symbol and the beliefs that it represented. The Babylonian and Assyrian civilizations often depicted the Black Sun, the godhead's inner light, in the form of a cross. Assyrian kings wore an insignia which in no way differed from the one more commonly known as the German Knight's Cross. No way of knowing just what exactly was going on in the minds of the occultists of the Third Reich, and to what mysterious ends their ideas would lead them. Perhaps they believed in the ancient prophecy of the New Babylon, which would rise again in some unspecified centrally located country when the third Sargon would return. The secret knowledge and the prophecies which the Knights Templar had brought back with them from the Orient had been slumbering for centuries, waiting for the time of fulfillment to approach. Munich. Many members of the Thule Society formed themselves in active opposition to the flagged Socialist Republic of Bavaria. A political party was founded, and in 1921, Adolf Hitler, a man well known for his occult beliefs, was engaged as a political orator.
Over here! Come and get it!
Inspired by members of the Thule Society, Hitler's plan for a 1,000-year Reich was born. The increasing political ambitions of the Thule Society resulted in a number of smaller groups going their own way. One of these groups was the Vril Society. Towards the end of 1919, a select group of people, members of both the Thule and Vril societies, met in an old hunting lodge near Berchtesgaden.
Yeah, I'm sure. Let's get everybody moving.
Taking a prominent part in the proceedings for the first time was Dr. H.O. Schumann,
Good, right?
a man whose area of expertise would today be called alternative energy. Nevertheless, the leading figure was the medium, Maria Ortisch. A second medium was also present on this occasion, the 18-year-old Ziegru. Maria Ortisch presented texts she had received from her spirit medium, one in the Sumerian alphabet and the other in the secret code of the Knights Templar. Both texts had already been translated. Were they messages from the gods? Construction plans for the development of some new advanced technology? From now on, the members of the Vril Society devoted themselves wholeheartedly to the realization of what must be one of the most bizarre ideas that ever occurred to the mind of man.
Okay, I'll run this
The
on.
construction of Vril Levitation Power Unit.
Okay,
At the
I'm free and
beginning
clear.
of
See you soon.
1924, the
I hope you
machine
brought
was
me something
dismantled
free.
and taken to Augsburg in southern Germany
Hey,
for storage,
losing that RV was kind of rough.
perhaps to the
For a while
Messerschmitt
there, it felt
Aircraft
really
Factory.
secure, you know?
As
Like,
a
no matter
member
what
of the
happened,
Thule
you could always
Society,
just move.
Rudolf
Nothing
Hess gave a
protect us.
number of lectures and
It's
was,
a long
among others,
shot,
one of the
but keep
people
your eyes open,
responsible for
okay?
the early
If we have another
encouragement
chance like
this
that,
new
we should
technology
take it.
was accorded.
How's it going?
In all
I'm almost
things, we
there.
are able to recognize
Run
two
into a bit of a
principles
snag.
which decide upon
We got
matter
the
and
basics,
events,
but to really
light
pull
and
this off,
darkness,
we need a
good and
little more.
evil, creation
We can't track
and
it down.
destruction.
Found this while I was out.
These two principles,
Let's
the
go.
creative and the destructive,
you know.
determine our technical means.
Son of a bitch. Can't trust anybody to know this shit around here these days.
Another advocate of
What
this
else?
new technology was Victor Schauberger.
Down to an expired bottle of baby aspirin.
Your propulsion theory is a mistake. This statement was made by inventor Victor Schauberger, who was believed to be associated with these esoteric societies. It addresses
This
one
is
of
a
the
good
essential
location.
points of the issue.
Should I tell everyone to pack up?
Nowadays, we would call
do
this the
this.
search for an alternative form of energy. Back then, however, there was much more at stake. Namely, the quest for another science, a radically different technology. To put it simply, we could say implosion instead of explosion. The positive elements among the esoteric scholars of the Third Reich were aware that all divine creations have always
Sit
been
tight. I'm
creative,
bringing this stuff home.
never destructive.
Roger that.
A technology which results in explosions and is based on the principle of destruction cannot therefore really be in keeping with divine intentions. All internal combustion engines, for example whether piston engines or rocket propulsion systems, work on the principle of an explosion. In other words, with destructive capabilities. Their ultimate effect is sure to be destructive. The environmental damage meanwhile visited on the planet by the technology of explosion, including atomic energy,
There you
exhaust
go.
fumes and so
Don't say I
on,
never gave you anything.
makes it quite clear that the call for a new technology,
you know.
like the one under discussion back then, is clearly justified. Victor Schauberger's experimental flying prototypes worked on the principle of levitation. Esoteric knowledge played an ever-increasing role in the search for new sources of energy and motive power. Such research as there was particularly important in the development of electrogravitational and tachometric propulsion. This seemed to be at the very core of the alternative technology. The energy source of the future, cheap, clean, and independent of raw materials. Two special departments, U-13 and SSE-4, were set up to concentrate exclusively on the realization of this new technology.
The Johannes Kepler introduced him to the secrets of Pythagoras. Victor Schauberger's vibratory theories tied in with the traditional teachings of Pythagoras and Johannes Kepler. The monochord, an acoustic measurement used by Pythagoras, demonstrates to us how the universe was created using sounds, which we obtain through a division of the sides. The entire universe was created using this principle of harmonic resonance.
Reihe ist der ganze Kosmos aufgebaut. Ganzzahlige Verhältnisse, Proportionen,
Integral numbers in proportional relationship to one another determine the structure of matter.
in den Atomen. Das chemische Periodensystem.
This holds good for the universe, as well as the atom, the periodic law of elements in chemistry, the Mendelian laws of heredity, the laws of leaf arrangement in botany, as well as the formation of crystals. The list goes on.
Kommen wir auf das Grundprinzip des Monochords.
Wherever we have mathematical structures and proportions, we encounter the basic principle of the monochord, harmonic proportions.
Seine integrale Technik und seine Lehre.
Victor Schauberger used the mathematics of the monochord in order to develop and build upon his integral skills and his knowledge of the inner universe and its vibrations. One more thing, his mathematics were not Euclidean. The secret teachings of Pythagoras were taken up by the Templar order, guarded and passed on. Victor Schauberger made use of this knowledge to develop his theories and in so doing discovered implosion.
Anhand des Energieplans der Natur sehen Sie
In
hier
keeping with the laws of nature, we can see here alpha and omega, the keynote to the overtone going on further to the last tone and ending in the creation of the entire universe.
aufgebaut ist. Alpha
Symbolically, alpha and omega represent spirit and matter. Therefore, what we have here is something whole. This knowledge therefore makes an all-embracing science possible. Implosion is the utilization of the potential of the inner universe within the outer universe.
ist die Nutzbarmachung des
Due to the forces of
Potentials.
energy and evolutionary science, we have been able to make great strides in the field of antimatter and with it do away with the effects of gravity.
After the National Socialist Party came to power, the occult societies withdrew into the background. Within the SS, the Thule Society created a separate secret organization called the Black Sun. The Friel Society carried on much as before with its scientific research. According to reports, the Friel Society had by the middle of 1934 created its first experimental circular aircraft to be propelled with the anti-gravitational effect, the RFC-1. The men responsible for the design and construction were Dr. Schumann and an engineer from Bochum. The young Gertie Vogt had been responsible for running the Friel Society, and she made herself known to private investors who were prepared to invest in projects. The Friel and Thule societies were not alone in their vision of space travel in the Germany of those days.